Hello UMAC fans, we are back continuing our Lessons from Leaders series, and today we sit down with Beth Wilmeth, the head volleyball coach at the University of Northwestern in St. Paul. Beth has led and had great success with the Northwestern volleyball program. Recent years they were the 2018 UMAC regular season champions. They've qualified for the NCAA tournament for 8 years in a row from 2010 to 2017. Included in that run was 3 Sweet 16 finishes, a Final Four run as well, and you were also named the National Coach of the Year during that stretch. So we're excited to be with Beth today. Beth, let's start kind of picking up from some of those accolades. Your program has had a lot of success over a long period of time. What are the keys in terms of sustaining that and continuing that success?
Yeah, well, I always tell our athletes, I think it's first important to talk about what success means. And it's easy from the outside looking in to see the Sweet 16s, the Final Fours, but really at the end of the day, success has to be more than just an outcome. And so we work on a lot of little things. It's not one big thing. It's not, one flashy kind of answer, but it's a lot of commitments to little things that over time change the culture of your program. And so if I had to pick one of those, though, I think big picture, it's just buy-in to what our team is all about and recruiting players that fit that purpose, that mold, and training that and drilling that and reminding ourselves to be anchored to something bigger than just the outcome of the result on the scoreboard.
Sure. And as you look back, I'm sure there's been many people that have influenced you from a coaching perspective and helping you become the leader that you are and continuing to be. Does one or two individuals stick out as far as maybe pretty significant in terms of influencing you and having a role in how you lead and coach?
Yeah, if I made a list, there's probably 20 to 30 people that would be on there, but the two probably strongest voices in my life have been former coaches at Northwestern. Our head football coach, Kirk Talley, I think really modeled for me as a young coach when I was hired at 23 what it looks to be a transformational leader versus a transactional leader, and just really how he infuses life beyond football really taught me a lot, getting to watch him do that. And then Linda Shuck, our former women's basketball player, is someone that even this week I was texting with her. She's so good at leaning into things that are hard and reminding me of what are my values and how do I make decisions based off of that, not what I'm feeling. And so those two people consistently throughout my 15, 16 years of coaching have been people that have really developed me as a leader and have been go-tos for me when I get into a situation or something I'm not quite sure what to do with.
Sure. And you mentioned hired as a head coach in your 20s, young 20s. Now obviously a few years later past that. How are you different as a coach now than you were when you first started and kind of that progression?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of things. I think when I look back, and we talk with our players about this, 4 different types of teams, 4 different types of leaders, and this is from Bruce Brown with Proactive Coaching, but I think the baseline is an in-name only player or an in-name only coach, and I think that's where I would have started, where it was about what does my coaching record look like, or what can my athletes do for me. And I think over the years, I hope that has grown and changed into what can I give back, what type of athletes are we graduating from our program, what are they taking beyond volleyball, because no one's going to stand in front of their first job interview and talk about how they're an All-American or led their team in kills, because most people have no idea what that is, and so we want them to become great people. And I hope that instead of being an in-name only coach, it's more of being a legacy coach that really infuses long-lasting truth into our athletes' lives.
Sure. And a similar, question, we talked about earlier more your foundation of your program and some of the key pieces there, but as you look back now, closing in on closer to 2 decades of experience, what's a key learning moment, a lesson, an experience that stands out to you in terms of just had a major impact on your coaching, and kind of one of those aha moments, if you will?
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was one specific moment or thing that happened throughout my career, but just over time, learning that there's 2 different ways or 2 different choices I have as a leader. And we talk about this in our family as well. There's two different ways I can lead as a mom with my kids. I can either power over them and tell them that they have to do what I demand that they do, or I can grab their hearts. And there's definitely times where I have to power over. You know, if my 4-year-old's going to run into the street, I don't have time to really talk about why we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But there's the long run is getting our athletes, getting my kids as a mom to do things because they want to do them and creating that buy-in. And so I think that's been the thing that I've grown in the most is learning how to do that, the nuances of doing that, and grabbing people's hearts and getting them to understand why behind it and to want to do it, and to know that I care for them more than just this is what you have to do because I said so.
Sure. Well, thank you, Beth. We appreciate you sitting down with us today. And again, Northwestern will try to secure another regular season championship this fall. Appreciate Beth's willingness to be part of our Lessons from Leaders series.
Thanks.